And I think we're live. The red dot's on. Usually that means we're live. So, we tried this a couple minutes ago. This is going much better. Hello, everyone. We are live for the first time. Well, the first time I'll say officially on the channel. We are in one of my favorite games, Forge of Empires, and we're going to do a daily collection. It is the end of the year 2025, and I have been meaning to do a live stream for quite some time. So we're finally getting around to it. So yeah, this has not been announced. This was not previously scheduled. I've just downloaded some live streaming software, and I'm just testing it out. So if you happen to come by this after the stream, and you're sorry, and you're sorry that you missed it, you're sad you missed it, no worries. I will hopefully, after testing this out, I will hopefully be doing live streams in the future. And if you end up showing up live, which I don't believe anyone is currently here live, but if you are here live, please come on and chat. That's why I'm here. So I'm going to try to do this as basically just a normal video. And I've done a daily collection video before. This one is just a little bit different because I currently have a lot of different ascended buildings going. I have a lot of different boosts and bonuses going and stuff like that. And excuse me for any flubs or any noises that you might hear during the live stream. That's unfortunately the problem with doing a live stream is that I can't edit out any of my mistakes or errors. So we'll just have to deal with it. So yeah, so as I'm talking, I'm basically just going through everything, and I'll try not to describe everything that I'm doing because most likely than not, if you're a follower of the channel and you're familiar with the game, you know what I'm doing. I'm collecting from different aspects of the game. I just went into my pirate settlement, and so I've got the pirate settlement going. I just went into the continent map, into my space age space hub map, and collected all the special resources. I've been going in my inventory, and different things have been popping up that I've been collecting in my inventory. Looking at all the different spots that incidents may be in my city or on my roads. There's one. Looking for those ever precious event currency. So currently the event that we have going on is the winter event. I've already done my collection today. I'm trying to get that calendar key every single day now, pretty much through the end of the event. I missed a few days at the very beginning, but I do have a pretty good stockpile of the event currency now. So I think I should be able to get the rest of the keys for the remainder of the days. And then after that, it's going to either be diamonds or hopefully I can kind of, double up on calendar keys over the next couple of days as I'm collecting them. And each time you double up on a calendar key, you get these master key pieces. So the more key pieces that I get, the less diamonds that I have to spend. I will say the one nice thing recently is I used to exclusively use diamonds for expansions in my city. And as you can see here, under the diamond expansion tab, I have no more diamond expansions to place. I've completely exhausted all the expansions that I can purchase with diamonds. I only have 3 left with quantum incursion metals. Victory expansions went very quickly, so did reward expansions. So I'm very close to being as large as I possibly can, city size. Um, so, we'll see how that works. Um, it's interesting. I noticed the other day, so like I said, I have three more expansions, so I'll probably put those here. And then if you go to your castle system, I'm currently on level 15. Level 16 gets me another expansion, and then I think it skips 17. Level 18 gets me another one, and then level 20 gets me another one. So that's three more than I would be able to place somewhere. Maybe over here, maybe I want to continue this over here. We'll figure it out when we get to that. But basically, you know, I find it interesting that they don't really give you as many expansions as there are places to put them. Um, I'm hoping that that just means that they're going to give us this many diamond expansions when they release the new level. I'm not sure when the new level will be, but hopefully soon. Um, I don't believe they've announced anything. But anyway, uh, I'm rambling and we have to start collecting stuff, or otherwise tomorrow, every 24 hours I have to collect from my city, and it's already getting late, so tomorrow is just going to be even later of a daily collection. So the first thing that I always do at the start of my daily collection, and especially during this time, like I said, when I have a bunch of boosts going, um, I have forge point boosts going 176%. And so normally what I would have done is I would have clicked on my blue galaxy, great building, and then I would have tried to find all of the forge point special event buildings or event buildings um, that produce the highest amount of forge points. So for example, let me see if I can remember off the top of my head. So yeah, so the Lagoon Stronghold gives 469. The Balloon Masquerade Carnival from the recent Halloween event, that one 552. Let me see, I think this one over here, yep, 497 from the Forest Guardian. Um, let's see, the Echo Nexus, that's 408. So all those are pretty high. However, the biggest Forge Point collection currently is the Eternal Market. 1,590 Forge Points for every single collection. And if you're familiar with the Blue Galaxy Great Building, then it's 1,590 with a chance of doubling. So 3,180. So every time I click on this building, I could get 3,180 Forge Points, which is great for trying to load up a great building that takes 80,000 Forge Points in order to level. So this is what I've been doing the last couple days, maybe last couple weeks, because I put some Forgotten Temples down. Okay, so Forgotten Temples last 28 days, so I've been going for about 17 days now. So it's been a little bit over 2 weeks. And so what I do now is, if you notice, I have my self-aid kit. So I've now uh, motivated this building, the Eternal Market again. And then I have these nifty things here, the finished special production. So I'll go in and I'll use that. And so now that's automatically finished. And now I can collect from it again, 3,180 forge points. And I'll do that. You can see here, this is my double collection. So I have a 71% chance to collect double the resources from any building that I collect from for well, it was originally 15 times, and I've collected twice already, so now I'm down to 13. And so now this little square balloon over here on the side, this will tell me how many tries I have left to collect. And so I'll basically just do this. I'll just keep aiding and finishing. I wish it ended it automatically. I didn't have to like press out of it or anything, but what are you going to do? So just keep doing this. And if you've noticed, I've collected a pretty good amount already. So that's 4 collections, and I've collected about 11,000 forge points. So, you know, it really is, it's a nice daily collection so far. And I was at 0 when I started that. So we'll see what I get to by the end of it. I know I just did a video on all this you know, boosting and bonusing and stuff like that. And I believe I said I was collecting about somewhere between, like, you know, 35,000, 45,000 every day. Um, but as you can see, I mean, you know, uh, depending on how well my blue galaxy hits, it could be, you know, higher than that, much higher than that. So I guess we'll just let it play out. And, you know, we're already up to 20,000 and I'm still not even done. You know, this is just this one building that I'm collecting from so far. So, you know, this is pretty much it. This is the plan. You know, I think Forgotten Temple said it has a little bit over 11 and a half days left. So this is pretty much it. So every day go in, motivate, finish, and keep collecting, and hoping to get level 100 for the Stellar Warship, and then I still have to unlock level 100 for Cosmic Catalyst, and I think there's a few other great buildings that I have that are not yet at level 100 for blueprints at least unlocked. Um, so just a few more. Hopefully I can get those done. I know I've mentioned a lot of times before, but I'll just reiterate it now that we're talking about it. My goal, my personal goal in this game, since I've reached the last age era, and you know I'm in the top, we'll say, I mean I'm ranked 62 in this world. It's not 62 in the world, just this world, which is Korch, Korch. Um, I mean, you know, at this point, I've quote unquote finished the game, right? At this point, you know, I could go for number 1 in the world, but I don't spend any money on this game, um, and I don't really want to. I like free to play games, so I I feel like in order to, you know, break into that top, I don't know, I'd like to say to break into the top 25, but it might even be getting close to like the top 50, because honestly, I've been around mid 60s for quite some time now, and I've only recently been, you know, rising a little bit more in the ranks because of these larger daily collections and, you know, being able to level up my great buildings more quickly than maybe some other players. Um, but I really feel like I probably can't get much higher in the ranking. You know, I'm playing the mini games, I'm, you know, completing all the events and stuff. So, all right, so let's take a pause there. We just collected 15 times from Eternal Market, and we're at 41,350 forge points. That is what I was able to collect solely from the Blue Galaxy and the Eternal Market, just refreshing it 15 times. So then what I do is I refresh it one more time, because why not? So finish it, everything's good there, cancel the action, so that little box that was telling me all the Blue Galaxy Direct collections, those are gone. And so now I have this collection over here that says, well, I'll go back to it. So it collects all the finished production buildings in my city, and I've timed everything out so that obviously everything is collected all at the same time. And it says specifically that collecting forge points is only possible with less than 100 forge points, unless Forge Plus is active, which it's not. I don't have that going right now. But I'm going to collect. It costs 5 diamonds, which is fine. And then I can start the production buildings again. So basically what this is asking is, hey, you had some production buildings that were set to a certain time. What time do you want to set them to now? And I want to set them to a day. and that collects from everything, and I got 34,272 forge points from that total daily collection. And I got a bunch of different fragments, so Earth Guardian fragments, some Halloween fragments, Octo Orb, the gold upgrade for the Halloween event. Then you've got like finished goods and finished special production. So every day I'm basically using 15 special production, the finishing items, but then I'm replenishing my supply. So I'm hoping that by the end of my 11 and a half days, I don't run out. So I'm going to assemble all my fragments, and you can see all these things get built. They all get replenished. And so now I have 34,272 forge points to use. So let's see. Let's check out Guild Battleground real quick, just to see. There's nothing open right now. It'd be nice if I could finish my attrition. Let's hop back real quick. So my attrition right now is at level 37, which is not very high at all. And let's see if they're. Oh, there we go. So they've just opened something up. So now we can play a little bit of Guild Battleground. A little bit of a tongue twister today. And so this is what I do. I'm clicking a little bit slower just because I feel like, I don't know, that with the stream and everything happening, maybe it'll be a little bit too quick. I don't know. Maybe we can click fast, see how it goes. No, it's working pretty well. Okay. So this is basically what I do. I click a bunch of times and then I think I made a video about how much I'm clicking in Guild Battleground. So I'm gonna stop saying it. GBG. Uh, I made a video about how much clicking there is, and someone was like, well, "Why don't you use the R key to um, replace units?" And I was like, "I didn't even know that was a thing," which is crazy because you play a game for 10 plus years, um, and I don't know, you don't I, you don't read the tooltips when it's loading the game, or you just don't realize that that's a thing. Um, so it looks like I'm doing most of the work for this sector, which is nice because, like I said, I want to get my attrition higher, and the more battles you do, the higher your attrition goes. Um, so yeah, basically just working at this, and then, like I said, I don't really have anything else to pay for with diamonds. I have that daily collection, but that's only 5 diamonds a day. I mean, I already have 1,600, so uh, I don't know. Maybe I'll ask whoever's watching this, if there is anyone watching this, what do you suggest I start spending diamonds on? Because right now I don't really have anything to spend them on, and I do keep buying them. So I'll go. I have over just enough, 11,400 uh, silver coins, and I need 11,200. So I'll buy 50 more diamonds, and that'll get me 10 more days of daily collection. So yeah. So let me see. Now let's go back. So they just opened up that sector, and this is just what our guild does is they announce. So A2T opened at this is military time, so it's 10:27 p.m. and so that was about 10 minutes ago. And so now they're saying that A3V is supposed to open in a minute, which it does. So I think they should call that next. Um, so we'll do that when it opens in a minute. But getting back to this, so I have over 34,000 forge points to use, and what am I going to do with them? So this is what I do, and let's see if this works in the live stream. But let me see. So I click on this, and then I open up my calculator. Let me see if I can pull this over. I can. There you go. Okay, so you can see the calculator in the stream. That's good. And so this is what I do. So I do 1910 times 1.95 because that's one of the arc threads that we do in our guild. Um, so then I write that down. I have a little piece of paper over here to the side. So 3,725. So I put that to the side and then I clear that out. And then I go to the second one, 955 times 1.95, and that's 1,862. And so then what you can do is you take that first number, 3725, multiply that by 2, so that's 7,450. And then it's kind of weird, but what I do is I subtract. So I subtract 80,709. And so if I get to 73,259, that will mean that the first person can place their forge points on this grade building without the risk of getting sniped. Which I've made a video on that. I know I'm not a huge fan of snipers. I know it's part of the game. I know there's a lot of people that do it. That's fine, but I'm going to try to do my best so that you don't snipe my buildings. And I think that's fair. I think, if I defend against it, then that's fair game. So what I can do now is I can say, well, what do I have to add to get from 41,350 to this number here, 73,259. So I have to add 41,350, and it's 31,909. So 31,909, and now I'm at the number that I want to be at. So, yep, they've just announced a 3v opening, but real quick, I'll finish this. So I go to the 1.95 thread, and I post my great building, and I say Jammer Jim is posting his stellar warship. Second place is 1862, and first place is 3725. And then someone can now come in and call first place. And so what they'll do is they'll copy and paste this into their thing. They'll remove number 1, and then they'll repost with just the second post, the second position listed. And that should signify that they've taken first, and they are adding their forge points. Well, that went quick, so that's kind of disappointing. Let me see. What do we have coming up next? We have A3V just went. D3V is where? Here? Here. Okay, so in 2 minutes, D3V is opening. And then I saw we already had someone take first on our stellar warship, and then I'm also leveling up my FOD, so we can level that. And basically we can just do the same thing again. Yeah, so someone just took second, so now we have first and second place taken. And now what I do is I basically just go in and do the same thing for third, fourth, and fifth. So 320 times 1.95 is 624. So write that down, 624. And then 80 times 1.95 is 156. And then 15 times 1.95 is 29. I know that off the top of my head because I do it all the time. So now what we do is 624 plus 156 plus 29 plus 29. And so now what that is going to do is that will leave 29, it's like a buffer at the end, so that when third, fourth, and fifth all take their place, there will still be, another 29 points. So it won't level the building. I'll be able to level the building myself, but the fifth place person still won't be able to get sniped. So there is a risk now where if I add this in, then someone could snipe third or fourth. But I mean, 600 forge points, to me now it's not that bad. And honestly, they would still be putting in I don't know, like 400 something. So it'd only be like a 200 forge point difference. So they would be gaining and I'd be losing a little bit, but honestly, it's not that bad. So again, what I do here is I know that there's 1,863 left to level it completely. So then I go back over to here and I subtract 1863. And so now I know that I need to put in 1025 in order to get it to 838. And then I go to this 1.95 and I can just copy and paste and overwrite it. So 5 is 29, 4 is, what did we say, 156, and this is what I have to write everything down. I just don't trust myself to remember it all. And so now it's 3, 4, 5 is all there, and they just announced D3V, and I guess people have shown up. I thought I was doing the other one completely by myself, and now there's a bunch of people. So, and I think we're getting to the point now where it makes more sense for me to replace the units basically after every time I attack, just because otherwise I'm losing too many units on the second attack if I'm depleted. So okay, so did that. So let's check out who's up next. So D3V just went. So now the next one's going to be C4H. C4H is here. Here. All right, so in 7 minutes we have C4H. And this support isn't going to be done, so it's not going to be down to 20%. If you're familiar with GBG, um, your attrition can go up more quickly if you don't have quote unquote support for the sector that you're attacking. So, for example, this one has a bunch of support, so it reduces the amount of attrition that you could possibly get by 40%, 60%, 60%, stuff like that. The maximum amount that you can reduce is 80%. So some of those buildings are overkill, but that's fine. It just means that we're probably getting more points from this sector. You see the base victory points are 104, but a lot of the buildings that we have on here, it's like multiplying them and adding them and stuff like that. And then, obviously the victory points are going towards this, so we're in first place right now, and we're going to get these nice rewards and stuff like that. Okay, so we've added to our stellar warship. We just leveled our FOD, so now we'll do the same thing for FOD. And honestly, for this one, since it's such a low level and there's not a lot of forge points needed in order to level it up, I just do 1 through 4 right off the bat. So we'll do 365 times 1.92. So that's another thing that I do is that for the more expensive great buildings, I'll do 1.95 because it means that I have to add less forge points in order to level it. For the lower end or the lower level great buildings, I'm fine with doing 1.92. Some people do 1.9, and these are all just whatever, um, whatever arc percentage, you want people to pay. And then we'll do number 2, 185 times 1.92 is 355. And then we've got 60, 1.92, that's 115. Should remember that. I do that one pretty often too. 15 is also 29. That's the same for 1.95 and 1.92. And then 5 is just 9. So now we've got 701 plus 355 plus 115 plus 29 plus 9 plus 9 minus 1407 is 189, and that's what I'll add, 189. And then we'll go to the 1.92 thread. So that one is here. And we add our FOD, and we say jammer gem, FOD, and list out all the spots. And we'll do that. And then I think that's pretty much it. I don't want to just ramble on without doing anything. I think that's pretty much everything that I wanted to cover. Like I said, it was just a just to test the stream. Um, I have not gotten any comments so far, so I'm hoping no one is trying to chat or anything like that. Um, it's not showing me if anyone's watching. Oh, hey Tommy, we do have someone watching. Wouldn't it be faster for you to do a website FOE calculator instead? I mean, sure, it would. This is just something that I've been doing for a long time. So at this point, it's kind of just what I'm used to. I mean, honestly, I don't even need to pull up something on the computer. Technically, I could just use my phone that also has a calculator on it. Um, what you're saying, I think what you're saying is, and correct me if I'm wrong, um, you're saying that it'd be easier to just uh, punch something in. I think FOE Helper has something like that, where you just plug in like the level of the grade building, and it just spits out like 1.9, 1.92, 1.95 automatically. Um, yeah, it would definitely be faster, it would definitely be easier, but like I said, it's just something that I've been used to doing. You know, it's it's probably something that yeah. All right, good. Well, I'm glad I understood your question. So that's good. Yeah, I mean, obviously if it is if it is easier and faster for you to do it, by all means. I kind of wanted to, pull back the curtain a little bit, just kind of show, like I said, my daily collection and what I'm working on. Um, just day to day playing the game. So thanks for stopping by. Appreciate the comment, the question. Um, let me know if anything is going awry with the live stream. So like I said, this is just the this is just a test right now. So um, hopefully you can do something in the future. Um, not 11 o'clock at night Eastern time. Um, the analytics of YouTube tell me that most of my viewers are from the United States, which isn't surprising. So this probably isn't a great time for them. Um, Although, funny enough, I do have some people that watch from England, and I have people that watch from Germany, which unfortunately I don't know any German um, other than like, a couple of the like normal phrases. Um, but I thought that would be fun if I just start rambling in German for a little bit. Um, but yeah, so I guess I was going to end the live stream, but Tommy, do you have any other questions or comments before before I end this prematurely? Not to call you out. I'm sorry if I'm focusing on you now because you're the only one in the chat. Oh, Sweden, another another language that I don't know, but 5 in the morning. So you are either watching the live stream, getting ready for work, or I'm assuming at some point you'll go on holiday, um, you know, something like that. You're good. Okay. Well, if you're good, then I'm good. We've been streaming for about 34 minutes now, so I would say it's a decent live stream test. I'm glad I had someone to help me out. Thank you, Tommy, for helping me with the chat, just ensuring that that was working properly. Um, yeah, so we'll end it there. Thank you very much for watching. Um, and if you have any comments or questions after the stream has finished, please leave them below. Um, this is my first live stream, so I'm almost positive it will upload to YouTube and you can comment on it and like it and do anything that you normally do when I post a normal video. So please leave a comment below, leave a question below. Let me know how the live stream was. I don't know, maybe I'll set up a poll for what day and or time is best for, most of my viewers when I can do another live stream. So we'll do that. Um, so yeah, uh, we'll end it there. So thanks very much for watching. As always, keep on jamming.